So typically on these YouTube videos, I make a copy, edit it, and then I'll send a version of that to Elenchik, and she puts her 2 cents into it, puts her edits into it, and we work well together. She finds things that I miss. I find a couple things that she misses. Usually she doesn't miss much though. She's pretty good. In the editing of the last video, she gave me all these recommendations. Do it at a certain time of day, set it right in front of the window. You have just the right lighting and whatnot. So I did that. I had just the right time of day. I went through the whole video of me talking. I got everything down just right, except for one thing. I left the flipping broomstick in the background of the video. Silly mistake, not a big deal, but it's something you want to cut out. So anyway, I send the video off to her. She edits the broomstick out just by cutting the screen or putting pictures over there. And she sends it back to me, and she cut out one piece. Either way, I went to tweak the video, and I just dubbed in a little piece, and what did I forget? The little piece that I dubbed in had the broomstick there. Needless to say, Elenchik was pissed. She said, right now, I'm in the States and she's in Bali. So she's watching the video and she doesn't even get through the video. She starts texting me with pictures right away. She's like, what the F is this? The freaking broomstick is in the background. I told you to get rid of the broomstick and it's there again. Are you trying to look like a professional or are you trying to look like a rookie? Because right now you look like a rookie on your first day. Let's straighten it out. How hard is it to get rid of the broomstick? Get rid of it. But that's Elenchik, a hard taskmaster, strict, firm yet fair. So Elenchik, I promise you no more broomsticks. We're professionals here, and as such professionals, we do not have broomsticks sitting in our background. We have beautiful windows with the American flag. That's what we do. The majority of the last video with Kawaijin does not have a broomstick in it, except for a little 3 or 4 second clip. There's a broomstick there. So sorry, Elenchik. I wanted to talk some about the regulations and COVID mandates and the hurdles I had to jump to get into Indonesia. One, get vaccinated. I had to be at least within 2 weeks after my second dose of the Moderna vaccine. 72-hour pre-flight PCR test. Also applied for a business visa into Indonesia. At the time, there was no tourist visas allowed. They were only issuing business visas, just a way to reduce the number of people coming into the country. I got in on a very narrow window of a 3-day quarantine required. Before I flew, there was an 8-day quarantine. It was down to 7. It was down to 5, and then I went when it was a 3-day quarantine. A couple weeks after I arrived, Omicron came out and they went crazy and up the quarantine back up to 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. I even heard more than 10 days at some point in time. And as you go throughout Indonesia, the rules and regulations on the mandates change so much, not everybody even knows them all, not even all the officials. We had issues when we took the ferry from Java to Bali. You have to have a 72-hour PCR test. Now, we had only been in Java under 72 hours, so it was under the 72-hour mark when we had our PCR test. When we got to the gate, the official at the gate had some nice banner made, said 24-hour PCR test required. Well, we have their official documents here in our hand that from the Ministry of Health of Indonesia, and this official is going against it. So there's a little bit of corruption going on there. Probably make money or kickbacks, who knows what, I'm not going to even say. There's ulterior motives there. Everybody's pressing you to get a PCR test. We get to the gate and the guy says, no, your 24-hour PCR test, look at my nice banner I've made here. So Elenchik, who luckily has been in the country for 6 years and knows a lot of the corruption and BS that they try to put you through, doesn't stand for it. She says, no, here's my paperwork right here. Your Indonesian Ministry of Health, it says 72-hour PCR test. Here's our PCR test, dated and timed less than 72 hours ago. We can get on this ferry right now and we can cross. You're not going to stop us. Oh, he said, but miss. Goes to the back, talks, and then magically they solved it. Oh, we're okay. We got it straightened out. You can go. So anyway, Elenchik in this next video goes full thug life on this security guard at the ferry crossing. The security guard refuses to hear that the 72-hour PCR test is the way to go. He claims it's 24. He's wrong. So she pulls out her phone and starts recording. She said, okay, We have PCR tests, we have quarantine, we have vaccination cards, we have all the documents, and you're just telling us it's not enough. She starts recording, and the guys, miss, and then they let us go.
I'm very tired now. This guy tell me what I cannot enter with PCR free 24.
This means you must be validation at quarantine, yeah? Quarantine at the...
I had quarantine. I have 2 PCR tests. I have vaccination.
You must be validation.
Вот и на катере покаталась. Да, на паромчике. Не без приключений, конечно, расскажу сейчас об этом.
Also, one of the things I forgot to tell about with regarding the PCR test and kind of the corruption that goes along with that stuff. Upon returning to the States, they required a 72-hour PCR test pre-flight. Got my 72-hour PCR test, and my flight was due to leave on a Sunday. The United States had changed the regulations to a 24-hour pre-flight PCR test, and that wasn't in effect until Monday. So my flight's leaving on Sunday under the 72-hour PCR test regulations. So I get to the front gate to catch my flight, and they're like, "Oh no, now it's changed to 24." So I argue with the lady. I said, "No, that's Monday. My flight's leaving today, Sunday." And she argues back and forth with me, and I just say, "No, you're wrong. There's nothing about it." She gets her manager out, or her superior. Her superior comes out and argues the same with me, and they just don't want to hear it. They just want to sit. So I said, "What am I supposed to do? I've got my test. I need to fly home." They're like, "Oh, well, you're going to take a rapid test." I was like, "Well, how do I do that? I'm in the airport." Well, they have a little tent set outside on the other side of the airport. You know, thank God I'm an able-bodied walking person. And Christ, you had to just about run to the other side of the airport if you want to get there anytime today. So I go out there. There's a tent there. I sit down. So I sit down and give them information, and they say, 80,000 IDR, please. I said, "Okay, well, do you have change for..." I had a $100,000 IDR bill. They said, "No, we don't have change." I said, "What do you take, credit card?" "No." "Okay, well, here's 100,000 IDR. You got yourself a $20,000 tip. Nice move." So they do that. They fill out the paperwork, and they send me back to the doctor, which is another little tent area. I go into the doctor, and they say, "Okay, you are so-and-so. Here, we're going to swab your nose and do a rapid test." So they do the business. They swab the nose. And, once I'm done, they say, "Okay, step outside. Within 15, 20 minutes, we will call you with the results." And I swear, I kid you not, within 15 to 30 seconds, they called my name. "Ah, Mr. Ryan, we have good news. You have clear test." Really, 30 seconds, and you have a clear test that I'm negative. I think you just wanted to collect my money. So that's the type of thing you deal with when you're in Indonesia. So my honest assessment of Elenchik: when it comes time to have fun, she's fun, bubbly, and always laughing. If you cross her, she'll go beast mode on you. She'll go full thug life. When it comes down to business, she is strict, firm, yet fair.
You want it? Come and get it. Took it, then we split it. You fucking right, we did it. What the fuck you gonna do when we run up on you?